Hi learner friends, tonight we're going to tell the story of Passover with yoga and help from a couple of my kids. The first position, the Pharaoh pose. Point your toes, spread your legs out, and make like a king. A long time ago in Mitzrayim, now known as Egypt, there was a mean king named King Pharaoh. Next position is pyramid pose. So your hands and your feet should be all the way on the floor. Put your head between your elbows, your bottom in the air, and your heels on the floor. Hold that for me, George. Straighten your back. And King Pharaoh thought that there were too many Jewish people, and so he made them his slaves. They had to work night and day building cities for Pharaoh. Pharaoh said all Jewish baby boys had to get out of town. The next pose is baby Moshe pose. Get all the way down on your back and grab those toes like baby Moshe lying in the basket. Grab your toes and rock back and forth all the way on your back. It was a very sad time for the Jewish people. One mommy named Yocheved wanted to save her baby. She wove a basket and put her baby inside the basket. She put the basket into the Nile River and her daughter Miriam to watch the baby so he would be safe. The basket floated down the Nile River. Next position is the Princess Batya position. So stand straight up. So, one foot the inside of your knee. Stand all the way up. Stretch to the sky and down. The Princess Batya. The basket floated down the Nile River with Miriam watching, and came to a place where the Pharaoh's daughter, Princess Batya, was swimming. She heard the baby crying and drew him from the river, so she named him Moshe. Miriam helped the princess find someone to care for the baby, so Yocheved was able to care for her own baby. The Moshe pose is next. One foot forward, pointing away. The other foot pointing the other direction, straight out. The Moshe pose, also known as warrior. Moshe grew up in the palace. One day, Moshe was out on a walk when he saw a mean Egyptian taskmaster hitting a slave. Moshe told him to stop. Then they argued. Moshe hit the taskmaster. He knew that that was not the right thing to do, so he went away to Midian. Maybe Moshe put himself in timeout. Moshe became burning bush pose. Use your other foot, like the Princess Batya. Use your other foot and put it on the other knee. And this time we're going to lift our hands up and keep them up. Story, please. Moshe became a shepherd in Midian. One day he was out in the fields watching his goats and sheep when he saw a miraculous sight. There was a bush that was burning, but it didn't get burned up. The leaves were still green. It's the burning bush pose. Next is the Aharon pose. Stand straight with your shoulders above your feet and take one step back. Keep your chest up. Lift both hands up into the sky. Lean forward into one knee. From the bush, Moshe heard the voice of Hashem. Moshe, take off your shoes. This is holy ground. You must go back to Mitzrayim and set my people free. So Moshe went back to Mitzrayim with his brother Aharon. Next position is the frog pose. Get your feet under your shoulders and squat down. Put your hands under your knees and push out. Your feet a little bit apart. Raise your hands up. So they went to talk to Pharaoh. They told Pharaoh that if he didn't listen to Hashem, 10 terrible plagues would come and that his own son would be hurt. But Pharaoh didn't listen. First, all the water turned to blood. Then there were frogs everywhere. Next position is the let my people go pose. We need to stand up. Rosie. Okay, you do it with Daddy. Do it with Daddy. Stand up. Hands up.
Hands up.
Each time Pharaoh said the people could go free, and as soon as the plague was gone, he changed his mind. There were lice, wild beasts, all the cows got sick, and boils on their skin. Locusts, fiery hail, and darkness. 9 plagues so far, and still the Pharaoh is not allowing the Jewish people to go free. The Egyptians couldn't stand all those plagues and were upset that none of the plagues affected the Jewish people.